Well, good morning, my Teaser King family. I know how everybody is today, but it's paper, not physical. So again, we need to understand the game, the paper game, which we do. And we've got silver down to $69. It was 70 2 seconds ago. And gold 4,600. And we're gonna say, what the fuck's going on? This is paper. They're lowering the price to get out of their options. Number one, as normal. Number two, they're lowering their price. Number two, they're lowering their price so they can buy it cheaper. Those are the two big reasons. Again, this is paper contracts. This isn't physical. Physical gold hasn't moved. And this is the frustrating part for people like us. We're sitting at 5,200 gold and now it's 46. It went down 600. Why? There's no reason. Oh, it's inflation. They don't even know what inflation is. I was reading like what's going on, and well, it's inflation because the oil prices are up. Well, why would that make gold go down? Well, the dollar's stronger. So I looked that up. Again, what are you talking about? The dollar stronger? Well, we look at it versus the euro, the yen, the pound, some other currencies. You're like, the dollar's inflated to zero. It can't. Oh, in the FX bullshit Ponzi scheme, the dollar shows that it's up. Oh, so it was like 80 cents to the euro. It's like 87 cents to the euro. Oh, well, yeah, they're printing the euro pretty good too. That's not a good explanation that the dollar's up against the euro when the euro's not good either. Oh, it's the petrodollar. Oh, well, that doesn't work anymore because anybody can buy oil from Saudi Arabia now, if you're even buying from Saudi Arabia, if they can get through the Straits of Hormuz. So that was just Saudi Arabia and the U.S. You had to buy dollars to buy oil. Well, I don't think that's the case anymore. You can use dollars to buy it. People with dollars would gladly buy oil because the dollars are worthless. The Saudis want gold for it, and they'll take the yuan. So again, the petrodollar argument's out the window. The inflation of prices increasing is not inflation and printing money. So the dollar is not getting stronger. That's the first illusion. I think our biggest problem is we're dealing with freaking idiots who do not understand what's going on. They're called Keynesians. They're the ones in the banks. They're the ones who are the traders on comex. And then you got the algorithm kicking in. Oh, the dollar's stronger, so gold's got to go down. Why is the dollar stronger than the euro at this point? There's no explanation. Is euro, we're moving assets around because there's a war and the oil prices are going up and the food prices are going to go up. So we're going to call that inflation. And it's higher in Europe. Nothing they say makes any sense to why the dollar's so strong and then how that would make gold go down. Gold, the best asset to own because you can't print it, is getting hit for no reason. The fact that if the dollar is stronger or weaker to the euro is still no reason. The fact that it's the petrodollar is still no reason. So I'm just sitting there going, what the fuck's going on here? This is absolutely ridiculous. 46. Gold had gotten down to 45.60. And now it's back to 46, something that should be 10,000 by now or 20,000. Why are we using options to price gold? Why are we using a mechanism that says if the dollar is stronger than the euro, if it's strengthening, then gold goes down? Why is that even in play? It makes no sense. How does that? That has no correlation to the gold. Gold's its own asset. Gold, people buy and sell it. If you fear the dollar is worthless, as we know it is, you buy gold. It's very simple, and you buy physical. This is not physical gold. This is paper gold. This is options. So this is just an algorithm that says, oh, the dollar's higher, so gold goes down. What the fuck is that? Now, yes, we're kind of frustrated that gold's 4,600, and we know it should be 6,600. It's very frustrating because we know this isn't real. We know this is the Madoff Ponzi scheme. We know that the options are controlling the price when it should be the physical. We know the options have much more supply of gold and silver than physical. And if you have a lower supply, you have a higher price. So you're letting this high supply of paper gold and silver dictate the price. Why are we using this as the price? Why isn't there a physical price? Oh, well, China's coming out with it in Russia, and all the BRICS have gold-backed currency. Okay. So we're getting back to 70 on silver, which I can't believe I'm having to say that it's under 90. It gets hit wicked hard. It was hit $7 or $8. The other, it was in the mid 80s, and it goes in the mid 70s. Now it's at $70. What the fuck? It's such bullshit. And yet the people get away with it because they're the bankers. Why they get away with it? Because the congressmen are paid off. The bankers are running the government, AKA, in case you didn't know. The defense contractors want these wars. So you have that. That's heavy inflation. That kills the dollar because wars are very expensive. Not that, well, we'll sell weapons and we'll make money there. That'll help the economy, except for the dollar is not worth anything in the economy because you have to pay for the war. So it's a bunch of people that are not educated in Austrian economics that are running this little Ponzi scheme. Whoever had the bright idea, all right, the petrodollar was stupid enough, but let's do this. Let's have comex price gold and silver and price fix it, keep the price down. Mark McGuire asked the guy about it, what was comex, and the guy didn't answer. He just said it was price fixing gold or so. That's not the answer. That's not why we use comex. Why do we still use comex? That was in the 70s. It's 50 years later. Why are we using comex now? It's absolutely disgusting, and it's absolutely not real. These are not the real prices of our physical gold and silver. These are fake, price-fixed Ponzi scheme made off gold and silver prices. Understand that. You'll be fine. It'll go up. The war. Why are we even at war? The real reason was Trump wanted to steal the oil. So we wanted a regime change to get a guy in who was American, leaning American, who would let us buy the oil cheap or steal it because we're broke. Our dollar's worth nothing. Obviously, the euro's worth nothing, as is the British pound, and I think it's the Swiss kronen or whatever, and the yen. They're all worthless. Oh, we're stronger than them, so therefore let's shoot gold down. I mean, this is like betting on the Bears because you think Caleb's a good quarterback. I mean, the whole thing is absolutely ridiculous. All you can do is just be patient, let it come back up. Gold will still hit 10,000. Silver will still hit 2,000. You have nothing to worry about there because as long as you're buying the physical metal in the physical universe we live in, there is nothing else you can buy. Bitcoin is not an answer. Stocks are about to crash. I mean, stocks should really get hammered. So let's take a look. What is Bitcoin doing now? Just for some fun. Bitcoin's down to 69,164. So it was 72 or 3 yesterday, now 69. We're going through the 10 o'clock drop. We've already went through a drop from, what did this drop start at? Funny how China didn't drop it. Funny how it started dropping at about 2:30 all the way down. Now this is Europe all the way down to 8 o'clock. And now the US has it at about 9:30. And now here comes the 10 o'clock drop. So it's all bullshit. Let's check out what the stock market's doing. So again, Europe's dropping the gold and silver prices. Stock market should be getting crushed, except for we print money to put it in. And the stock market's down to 45,000. It was 50, now it's 45. Is anybody noticing? Is anybody getting uncomfortable? 45,000 is the stock market. Down $400 today. Are you very comfortable in that? All right. So you really got to ask the question, you see it, but to clear it, it's not, it's paper, gold, and silver going down, being sold down. Do they need the money? I've heard they need the money because of the higher oil, gas prices, and then it's going to be higher food price. So I think people need money. So they're selling their stocks, they're selling their assets, their stocks. They're not selling gold and silver because this is paper. So this is paper who are in the option market. I just don't understand. I mean, it's banks in the option market. Are the banks collapsing? People can't pay their mortgages. People can't pay their car payments. Is that what's happening? Probably also. This is the banks selling it, but the banks are still long. They're still saying $7,000, $8,000 gold and silver. So the war breaks out, the price of oil goes up because of the Strait of Hormuz, which really doesn't hurt the supply, although I think the U.S. did hit an oil field in Iran, and Iran, I think, hit the United Arab Emirates, an oil field there. So I don't know. As far as the petrodollar creating a fake demand for dollars does not keep the dollar strong. Let's clear that up. The dollar's printed to death. It doesn't matter if it's the reserve currency. English was the reserve currency, the French, the Romans, they were all the reserve currency, if you want to, whatever that means. It's the strongest of all the weak currencies. I guess that's how I would frame it. And so therefore, oh wait, the French, what did the English do? They printed a bunch of French francs in 1791 or so, and they flooded the market with French francs, and the French franc fell down, got inflated, and was worthless. We've inflated our dollar. Now you're saying that because people want to buy oil, they are using the dollar, makes the dollar strong. The demand for the dollar strong because they need it for oil, but you've outprinted it. And now you don't need to use the dollar, as China is showing you. They're using the yuan to buy the oil. Iran obviously has oil. Russia has oil. They're not using it. What does Germany use? What does Europe use to buy the oil? Maybe dollars, but maybe euros. Saudi Arabia doesn't care. They're not getting defended by the U.S. The U.S. has showed they have no army. So I think that's a lot of it also, that you're thinking, well, it's the dollar and it's the petrodollar and everybody needs dollar. Well, just because you have a demand does not mean if you keep printing it to nothing that you can keep printing it. At the end of the day, if you overprint, it's worthless. And that's where we're at. The US dollar is done. Everybody's dumping it. Nobody wants their treasury. So I'm sick of this petrodollar debate as if that's keeping the value of the dollar up and you can't inflate it by printing it. Oh, wait, inflation is the PPI, the CPI. What a bunch of bullshit these people are. So when you look at AI, as I looked at this morning, why is gold going down? I just kind of I know, but I wanted to search it, right? Why is gold going down in silver? And it was no, the dollar got stronger. Well, there was no correlation between a strong dollar and gold. There's none. It doesn't matter. Gold's gold. Gold's an asset, just like a Rolex. There's no correlation. If you inflate the dollar is a reason to get into gold, but it doesn't control gold's price. So I'm not buying the dollar stronger. That's why gold's going down in silver. That's a joke. So it's a major buying opportunity. We know at the end of the day, the dollar is not worth anything. You've got a $39 trillion debt that I heard was 40 today, but let's say it's still 39 trillion. Are you paying that back? Oh, well, all the money that we get for the petrodollar will pay no, the debt's not going down. It's going up. Nobody's buying our treasuries. We got a large debt. We have government we can't afford. It's too much. We have Social Security we can't afford. It's too much. And we have the defense contractors. God knows what they're doing with the money, but we have no weapons. We are getting killed by the Iranians. So these higher oil prices are not inflation, as I said, because they're caused by a supply shortage. And that's not inflation. That's called the supply shortage. That's the market. Supply and demand, right? So if the supply goes down and demand stays, the price goes up. I don't have as much oil to sell you, so I got to raise the price on the oil. And you don't care because you need it to drive your car. It seemed to stabilize. So it went from like 270 to 340, a little bit of 350. I saw it hit 390, but now it's coming down to like 380, 370. So it's so funny. It depends. If it's right off the highway, it's more expensive than if it's on a little, a side street near a Kroger's. So the dollar's worthless. It is not strengthening versus the euro. If it is, it's because the euro is going out also, which I told you every currency is going out, right? There's not one currency that will survive because they're all being printed. And the fact that we're the reserve currency has no meaning as far as the dollar is not getting stronger. There's not demand. Oh, I need oil. Well, you're not buying it from Iran anymore. So what do you mean? Oh, Saudi Arabia. Yeah, okay. Good luck on that one. You're buying Russian oil? They can't take dollars. And China's buying from Iran in yuan. So I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Japan from Iran, Korea, Vietnam from Iran. So I'm missing the point. These guys are just fucking clueless, which we know. So again, because the dollar strengthened, because of the war, because of the oil, how does the dollar strengthen? Well, it's worth more than it went up versus the euro. So what's going on in Europe that's causing the euro to collapse that would cause the dollar to go up because the euro is collapsing? Oh, higher oil prices. But they're a socialist country, Europe. The whole thing is socialist. You get on a tram, you get on the electric buses, you get on, with the wires that you used to do in Toronto. There's not, now probably the government to pay off the Social Security and the debt has higher gas taxes. That could be it. But then more people are on the subways. There's trains, there's buses, there's Ubers. So I don't buy that the gas is hurting Europe. the war with Russia. I don't know what I mean, they're basically all these elitists that are the Davos crowd, the Epstein crowd that are running Europe are all broke, right? They basically bankrupted themselves, right? They put all their money into it and they lost all their money into the war. So, you know, this is the end. When you have this big war, Hitler did it because Germany was broke and he needed money. Trump's doing the same thing. We're broke and we need money, so we're going to cause this chaos like the Joker, and we'll have a war to try to steal, but we can't. We can't steal Iran's oil. Venezuela doesn't have any oil. I don't know what they're doing with Mexico and their cartels. And in the Ukraine, we try to steal Russia's oil. And so far, nothing's worked. And nothing will work. So we're in a lot of trouble here. That's why we're in gold and silver. Now, for gold and silver to go down because the dollar went up versus the euro is the biggest Ponzi scheme I've ever seen in my life. It makes Madoff look like a Boy Scout. That is not a reason for gold and silver to go down. Why is it paper? Why is Comex pricing gold, physical gold and silver? Let it price paper gold and silver. You're running options. Well, who gives a fuck? The physical is not being sold. Why would the price go down? And this is the real problem that people like us have because we're in physical. We don't give a fuck about Comex. We don't give a fuck that the dollar's stronger than the euro and the yen and that why would that affect our gold price? So it's a real mind fuck watching Comex create us to lose value when our value should be very high. Our value should not be this low. All right, it'll bounce back. We know it will because the demand is very high for gold and silver, even higher now with these wars. You're telling me, see, again, these financial advisors who are Keynesians, which means they don't understand Austrian economics, they don't understand gold, and they don't get commission on it, is pushing to buy dollars. And for some reason, on this warped, stupid thing, that creates you to sell gold and silver and Comex because you're buying dollars. It's just too stupid, really. I mean, it's unfucking believable. So as the dollars go up versus the euro, gold goes down. There's a war going on. You want to be in gold and silver because the dollar will collapse as the euro will. Obviously, the euro is collapsing. The yen's already collapsed. The Indians collapsed. China's collapsed and Russia's collapsed. All the dollars have collapsed. Zimbabwe, Venezuela, Sri Lanka, India is not far behind. Japan, they're all collapsed. They're all worthless. So it's just, you just shake your head. We're the man that knew too much, right? We know what's happening. The rest of the world doesn't, but they're kind of controlling this Comex price by, well, I'm going to buy dollars. Why would you buy dollars? It's the stupidest thing to buy, especially with 8 wars going on or 5 wars. All these wars going on, thanks to Trump. Trump's the real idiot, right? So you got the wars going on because we have a 39 or 40 trillion dollar debt right now. Notice the debt isn't going down. The petrodollar isn't lowering the debt. We have no gold in your Fort Knox. So what are we talking about here? So how the dollar can get stronger? Oh, versus a basket of other currencies. Oh, that's how it's getting some. Because you know what? They printed 150 trillion and it's worthless. So how the fuck can it go up in value or be stronger than other currencies that have the same debt, that have the same worthless dollars? It's just bullshit. So don't be too suicidal that gold and silver are down a little bit. They will come storming back very soon as people will realize The dollar's worthless. You cannot sell treasuries to pay your debt, to pay your expense. They'll keep printing, and that's it. I mean, there's no way out of this except gold and silver. That's the lifeboat. Don't forget that. Physical. You must own it. You own it, you're fine. Physical, and that's the key to it. Physical will win this whole game, right? That's where you want to be, not in dollars. Oh, my dollar got stronger. Oh, go to the grocery store. Are Oreo cookies now only $2 for the box? I doubt it. So the differentiation between the dollar's strength and prices is not happening. The dollar's weak, prices have gone up. Go to the grocery store, everything's more expensive. Go to the grocery store today. I guarantee you everything's still more expensive. Nothing came down. So the dollar being stronger versus the euro does not make the dollar better, and therefore gold is still very should be much higher in value. Should not have been hit. So we'll see. It'll bounce back. Just again, another kicker with another war. We had a Ukraine war. Now we got this stupid war, but this one's affecting the gas prices because it's really not hurting the supply of oil as much as it's hurting the timing. So instead of going through the Strait of Hormuz, you got to go the other way around Africa there. It'll still get there. So there's really not a major supply difference. Now, if they're blowing up oil in the Middle East and Kuwait and these other countries, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and UAE and Dubai is getting hit also with military. So now, if you have a major supply shortage of oil and the oil price goes up, guess what? It's still not inflation. It's only money printing. All right. So please just relax. The key is you own the physical and it's going to go up. I was a little surprised how weak the Shanghai market is. So let's look at that. So when I looked at the Shanghai, let's look at gold today. I mean, it's 46. Why is Shanghai spot down? Are they not using physical? So this is what now I'm smelling that Shanghai is not using physical either. Why would it follow the US? That makes no sense. And let's look at silver. Silver 78, we're 69. All right. Why is Shanghai silver dropping to 78? Why is there a $10 swing? But why is it down to 78? So this is where I question it. All right. Let's look at the NBA. And I'm really starting to figure out the NBA. So let's look at yesterday. Boston wins 120-98. I called the over in the game, and it went over. 120, 220, so it was 219, beats the 216. Boston is a high-scoring team once they have Jack Tatum back. I don't know who Jaylen Brown is, and Golden State without Steph Curry. So it was either a Boston play or an overplay. Although without Steph Curry, it might have been a Boston play. Portland 127, Indiana 119, beating the Z team by 8, laying 12. So again, they didn't cover. 233, again, Indiana, a team with no defense. So it ends up going over. I don't recall if I got to start writing these games down. I don't know if I went over. I would not have played Portland because the game was at Indy. I would have actually taken Indy. Oklahoma against the Nets. The A team, Oklahoma, the Z team, New Jersey, and they beat them by 29. OKC laying 18 and 216. So it's hard to play the over in this game because Brooklyn is not going to score for you. So it becomes an A team against a Z. So you end up playing probably Oklahoma was probably the play, but it's a big number at 18. So it makes it very difficult. New Orleans beats San Diego. New Orleans is the home dog. That's probably what the play was. 236. They played a 233 game. San Diego scores was held down by New Orleans, surprising, but probably jet lagged as they were in San Diego on the weekend, so probably flying to New Orleans. Or so keep an eye on San Diego is now on an East Coast swing. Toronto and Chicago, I had the over here. Toronto 139 to 109. And it was a 237. Couldn't play Toronto laying 7.5 at Chicago because I don't like playing road favorites, although this is curious. But as you can see, Toronto lit them up, so you get the over. Minnesota beating Utah. Minnesota 12.5, 231. I think I played this game over as Minnesota scores a lot, and Utah, I mean, gives up a lot also. Utah with a very bad defense. And here's a guy, Bryce Sensabaugh. Never heard of him. Never heard of most of these basketball players now. Because you don't hear of them in college, because you don't follow college, because college sucks so bad. And then they go to the pros, you have no idea. It's not like Isaiah and Magic and Bird. All right. So Minnesota, a big win. They score a ton, and Utah gives up a ton. Atlanta over Dallas. I had this game over 239. Jonathan Kuminga makes 74-foot shot. Nobody gives a fuck. Nobody knows who Jonathan Kuminga is. Nobody gives a fuck. He made a 74 shot. Obviously, time running out. He just threw it out. Who gives a fuck? They win 135 to 120. Atlanta looks like a pretty decent team. Dallas, I don't know. Score 120, 255 over 239. That was a good overplay. Atlanta seems to be an over team. Now, here's a surprise. Memphis beats Denver. And what can you say here? Memphis, a 24-win team. Denver, a 42. The Joker, I guess maybe the Penguin and the Riddler probably played for Denver yesterday. And they did nothing. Here we had a big over under 246, so I said don't take it. They did score 243, but this is why you can't play 246 overs. You just can't do it. Now Memphis and 12.5. Yeah, now we see Memphis at home at least does beat Denver. In our last game, the Lakers, we took the Lakers as a dog, 124, 116. Also, the total goes over. I think I might have played them over. 240 is 222. Yeah, the Lakers are a high scoring team. I wasn't sure on Houston, but I see Houston kind of a weak defense. So you're starting to pick up. Oh wait, they're got a bad defense, and Denver's an over team. And you come here and you go, well, yeah, Chicago, they're no defense, and Minnesota is going to score a lot, and Atlanta scores a lot. So you start understanding the teams. That's our key. Now we see a team that scores 130, and we see a team that gives up 130. And now we go, aha. Now it's an over bet. Again, problem solving at its finest. Today, March 9th. It was just March 7th. It's just my birthday. Now it's the 19th. Soon we'll be in April. I paid my apartment deposit yesterday, $350. I use credit card, and they charge me $10 to use my credit card. Rent I will pay with my bank account. I do it here because that's the Social Security check. But most things I'll put on my credit card and then pay them down. So that's all set. So I was really excited for that. And I had to go to the library and print it out and sign it and send it back to them. So I'll give them a call, making sure everything is all set. And then she's supposed to take me to the apartment so I can see it. I think they're cleaning it, so it might take another week or so until I can go in and see it, which I don't care. And then I gotta figure out what to do because I gotta move this table, my couch, and my bed. So I need some help with some movers, or somebody who can help me put it on a U-Haul, and I can make one trip in the U-Haul. I'm not packing my clothes. I'm not packing my baseball cards are already in boxes, and I gotta box up my bathroom stuff, my shampoo and my stuff, and then I gotta box up my dishes, and that's it. And my spices, all my spices. That's it. Safe goes in the car, and the silver goes in the car, and that's it. But yeah, that's May 1st, so we'll worry about that when it comes to it. So I could get a guy who helps me for a U-Haul, or I could just get a mover if they're not too expensive to move. 5 things: move my kitchen and move my table and chairs, and the rest I'll handle. Well, we'll see. All right. Today's games. Let's go down to this. Cade Cunningham, Detroit, is out for a while with a collapsed lung. How do you collapse a lung? Pistons, they're like the Lions. They're really not that good. They look at the schedule they're playing. Very weak schedule. I think they played the Nets, and now they got Washington. They played a lot of Z teams, so they're not really a 49-win team. They are, but they can't beat anybody good. Oklahoma killed them, and San Antonio killed them, and Boston beat them, and Cleveland beats them. Okay, so here comes Washington, a Z team with a terrible defense. Now, you would normally go over with Detroit, but their best player, Richie Cunningham, is out. So that makes Detroit at 14 and a half. I don't know. And then the total at 231. You might still go over with Detroit, although without Cade Cunningham, will there be other scorers? Probably. It's just a 3-point shooting contest. It's pathetic basketball. So I would think I can't trust Detroit to cover 14 and a half without Cunningham, but I think over is okay because Washington will give up 130 points, and then they should be able to score. So I like the over in this game. The Orlando against Charlotte. Charlotte's not bad, 35 wins, or Orlando 38. There's a lot of 30-win teams. It's all mediocre, right? It's like football. Every team's 8, 9 wins, and they all suck. Charlotte, a home favorite, 5.5, 225, 225, yeah, 225 total. Probably go over here. Orlando seems to score, and Charlotte seems to score. So this is probably an over 225. San Diego goes to New Orleans. They played yesterday, didn't they? So what's going on here? We have the Pelicans won 124 to 109 yesterday. Are you telling me they're playing on back to back? This is crazy. Clippers Pelicans again. I don't know. They're playing back to back game. Really? Wow. I if that's the case, I would take the Clippers this time off of the loss. All right, Cleveland and Chicago. They played this one yesterday, didn't they? Oh no, it was Toronto, Chicago. Okay. So let's see. Cleveland and Chicago should be very high scoring. Cleveland 12 and a half. Again, I don't want to fuck with 12 and a half on the road. And 240. 240 is a little bit high, so it'd be a very small bet on the over. But Chicago with no defense tends to score. Cleveland can score, so go over. But I don't like once it hits 240, it's like a 70 in college football. It's very hard to play. The Lakers go to Miami. Which team will LeBron play for? Or will LeBron play or sit out? Luca Brasi on the Lakers, the Heat. Is Dwayne Wade still there? Um, Miami 3.5, 240, 2.5. I would go with the Lakers as the dog with Luca Brasi. 242 is a big number, but it probably goes over also. But I hate, again, in the 240s is getting a little bit high there, fellas. Then we have Arizona at San Antonio. They just played too. San Antonio, 10.5, 227. Love the over in this game. Go over. This is a big bet there. 227. So you got a good number. Go over. Milwaukee against or Utah. Giannis, Bucks at odds over him playing rest of the year. Why would he not? Is he injured? Well, either he can play or he can't. Milwaukee 5.5, 229. Let's see, against Utah. Milwaukee's not that good of a team. I like Utah getting the 5.5 here. 229. I don't know. Without Giannis, is he playing? Is he any good? I don't know. 76ers and the Kings. Kings are the Z team. 76ers have a player hurt. Phillies 2.5, 226. If the Philly injured player plays, I like the over. Otherwise, I'd probably take Sacramento getting the 2.5. I was in Vegas and Boston was on a West Coast trip, and they had played the Lakers on like a Saturday or Sunday or a Monday. No, it was like a Monday or Tuesday. And then they went up to Sacramento, and Danny Ainge was on Sacramento, and here comes Boston, Larry Bird, and Boston's laying 1.5. And in my infinite wisdom, takes Sacramento plus 1.5. Boston's going to be a little flat. They just played the Lakers. They're on the West Coast. Danny Ainge. And Sacramento wins the game. Danny Ainge hits a three-pointer just before the buzzer, and they win by 1. And I'm probably the only person that cashed on that game. How do you bet against Boston and Larry Bird and on the West Coast? And that was it. And Sacramento won with the one. I'll never forget that. That's my proudest moment is that game. But it was a lovely game. So here I think if Philadelphia's best player plays, it's an over. If he doesn't play, I got to take Sacramento getting 2.5. Don't be afraid, even though they're the Z team. They win once in a while. All right, so that's hoops. Let's see if there's anything in the news on these players. Piston Cade Cunningham to miss at least 2 weeks. Janice acupuncture reportedly not aligning with Bucks over playing time. We don't really give a fuck. I don't even know who this guy is. The revived Lakers NBA Board of Governors to vote on expansion. Right. You don't have enough players. I already said this. This is the problem with sports. You have too many teams and you don't have enough players. So you're not watching professional. There's not enough. There's only 2 players that have 30 points or more. And then you probably have another 15 or in the 20s or over 25 points per game. You do not have enough pros to play pro basketball. That's why you're getting these guys like Amantapalu, who is from where? Africa, from a tribe. So you got some Luca Brasi, you got Joker. These guys aren't even Americans. You don't even have enough Americans to fill the teams. It's disgusting because that's what they play here. They don't play soccer. They don't play baseball. There's no Americans playing baseball. There's no Americans playing Basketball, no good ones, so it leaves it to football. So they're all playing football and getting killed. March Madness, 5 players with the most NBA draft stock to gain. Who the fuck knows? Is Luca Brasi defense improving? Who the fuck knows? He has a gun. He's in The Godfather. What do we? Thunder's Alex Caruso received technical foul for using shoe to block a shot. Seriously? Wow. Oh, so Detroit played Washington, and they're playing Washington again. What is this? They playing back-to-back games with the same teams? Oh, so Giannis Antetokounmpo reportedly out at least 1 week after suffering. Okay, so he's not even playing. So let's go back to that game. He's on what team? Milwaukee. So now we know he's not playing, and let's see what the bet is tonight. Milwaukee, the Bucks. All right, they're at Utah. They're laying 5.5. I like Utah plus 5.5. That's an easy one. All right, so that's your basketball. Let's look at NFL. Any different things going on here? All right. All right, this is the stupidest question I've ever seen. How long will Fernando Mendoza Raiders need to return to the playoffs? You got Denver and Kansas City in their division. San Diego, I'd say 10 years. In fact, I don't even see them returning to the playoffs. This coach with this GM. Be 10 years. NFL reportedly looking for potential replacement officials in case they don't sign the contract with the referees. Imagine that contract. Okay, you guys got to stop betting on football. You screw up so many games. I can't believe they're even negotiating to bring these refs back. I mean, that's just ridiculous. Potential. Could you imagine how bad replacement officials are? We saw that before. Pretty bad. Max Crosby. How has free agency changed the draft boards? Not at all. Jets trade Fields, we know. So nothing really new. Panthers reportedly trading backup Andy Dalton to the Eagles. Andy Dalton should be starting over half these teams. Philadelphia, the Giants, Miami. Why is he backing up on Philly when the guy should be starting for half these teams? The Bears, the Lions, Green Bay. I mean, he's better than all these quarterbacks. And then they bitch they don't have a quarterback. And where's Sam Hartman? Why isn't he playing? So the Dolphins trade Jalen Waddle. Bad move for Denver. I think they were going to get such a low draft pick that it probably didn't matter. They go, Waddle's not good. NFL season will reportedly start on a Wednesday night. What the fuck? Seahawks expected to host league opener Wednesday night football because it's reportedly coming to NBC in September. The first game will take place Wednesday, September 9th. The league traditionally kicks off its season on a Thursday, but NFL's first ever game in Australia in the sports Oh, so this game's going to be in Australia. It'll be Seattle, Melbourne. This will be the Niners and the Rams. Game is set for Thursday, September 10th. So what's this Wednesday game? Very confusing article. Seattle is expected to headline the Wednesday night matchup on NBC as the reigning Super Bowl champs typically host the first game of this season. So we're going to have Seattle, I guess, at home on a Wednesday night. Then a Thursday night game in Melbourne, Australia. This is like Trump running the NFL. What the fuck are you doing? No, Sundays are fine. We don't need this. I got a new blades, man, they're crushing my face. We don't need this. There's no demand. Again, this is against Say's law. Is there demand to have a Wednesday night football game? No. Is there demand to have a Thursday night football game? No. We like it on Sundays. All right, we'll give you a Monday night game. We do not like the Thursday games because the guys play Sunday and then play Thursday. You're not getting good enough players on it. You're asking for a lot more injuries, even though you don't want injuries. You can't let the players hit each other. You have a stupidest shit kickoff. You have the stupidest extra point. The whole thing is just like you're killing the sport. And now let's have a game Wednesday. And then we're going to have a game Thursday from Australia. Wow. It's just too stupid to even really comment on. You don't have enough players that are professionals in the league. You have very few quarterbacks that are any good, right? There's a Burrow, there's a Mahomes, there's a Stafford, and there's Josh Allen. And after that, you got trouble. And don't tell me Lamar is a top 5 quarterback. Don't insult my intelligence. Now, you're out of the family business, Carlo. Don't insult my intelligence telling me Lamar is a top 5 quarterback. In what world is that? So you have maybe 8 or 9 good quarterbacks. You have such stupid offensive coordinators and defensive coordinators. Everybody plays a zone, and so the guys can run in it. You've got idiots like Caleb who runs around and CJ Stroud, and they throw all these interceptions. Don't forget, CJ Stroud threw 5 picks against New England in a playoff game. All right, let that resonate. We've got the best defense in the country. I think Houston could have beat Ohio State. And you're throwing the ball and you're throwing all these interceptions. What are you doing? You have the best defense. That game should have been run. There's a game, Kansas City against Oakland, and Lenny got hurt. This is what, 68, 69. Lenny gets hurt, and Coach Stram ran the ball 65 times in the game, right? He threw 2 or 3 passes because he didn't have the quarterback or his receivers were hurt, whatever it was. And he had 3 good running, and he just ran the ball and ran it 68 times or something like that. That's what Houston's game plan should have been against New England. Run the ball 75 times and punt it and let our defense win it for us. The defense would have won it for you if you would have let them. But you let the quarterback throw the ball 50 times, throw 5 picks, throw at least 1 pick six and another pick that gave him good position. You're fucked up. And Kansas City did the same thing against Philadelphia in the Super Bowl, where Mahomes was holding the ball too long, threw a pick six, another pick that went to the 5-yard line, and you lost because you fell into the trap, Philadelphia, with this great defense, with all my Georgia players on it. And what are you doing? So it's becoming a real nightmare the way it is with the coaches, the offensive coordinators. The Lions get rid of theirs. He goes to Chicago. now you realize, wait, Ben Johnson was the reason they won, not Campbell. Then he brings in a new offensive coordinator and he fires him after 3 or 4 games because he doesn't know what he's doing. Well, how did you hire him? What did you hire him for? You hired the guy who doesn't know how to coordinate an offensive coordinator, and you fire him in 4 games. Sounds like you don't know what the fuck you're doing. You got defensive coordinators that suck, give up over 30 a game, and you keep blaming injuries. Sorry, boys. It's football. You cannot pay $30-40 million to 6-7 players and then have no defense because everybody gets injured. You need to have backups. You need 2 or 3 defensive teams. Right? You got to have money to pay the second team defensive line and the second, but you put all your money in Hutchinson with the broken leg. I mean, it's ridiculous. You're just idiots. The GM doesn't know what he's doing. The coach, who can I hire? Now he hires an Arizona Cardinal guy as the offensive coordinator because they got 15 points a game last year. Well, they had injuries. That's not an excuse. These are professional players. Then he should have had better players to back up the guys. To use the injuries as an excuse, well, if he was a good offensive coordinator, it wouldn't have mattered. I mean, we've seen injuries and the guys played fine. I mean, look at Seattle won with Darnold. I mean, forget an injury. You win with that guy. That's crazy. So that's a bad excuse. I'll give this guy 4 or 5 games, and they'll be firing his ass because he's, if I want to hire an offensive coordinator, I want a guy who put up 30 points a game. Right? Brett Ashley from Texas Tech, the guy at TCU, the guy at Baylor, these are my offensive coordinators. They score 45 points a game. Yeah, I want that guy. But to get a guy who averaged 15 points a game on a terrible team and you think he's good, I'll give him 5 games. How about that? After 5 games, he'll be fired. Dan Campbell will be coaching again, and the Lions will go maybe 7-10. And that'll be it. And you won't see, the only way the Lions are going to get better is they got to go win 2 games, 3 games, where they get the top 5 picks. Then the guy's a great GM. He can really pick the top 5, 10 picks. Gibbs was top 10. Hutchinson. The golf trade was a joke. Stafford was the number 1, but that wasn't by this GM. And he didn't pick. I think he might have picked off. He did not pick Aaron Donald, this GM, when he was on the Rams. And I didn't think the Rams were all that good that I would take their GM, and now he's the star because he picked Gibbs with the 10th pick, and Penei Sewell was 15. The first 15, and he happened to get lucky because all these teams want to draft quarterbacks, and the real good players are there. Again, the top player in the drafts is Ruben Bain, Miami by a mile. Baylor or Texas Tech is up there. Mendoza, the Raiders aren't going to win with Mendoza. They're out of their minds if they think he's good. Again, at Cal, he had 16 touchdowns, 6 picks. Hardly a number 1 draft pick. See, Indiana, it's loaded because they can run, passing, a good defense. He screwed up the Penn State game, but nobody wants to really talk about that. And he really didn't do much in the Ohio State game. But Donzie, good morning. So I'm not all in on Mendoza. He's a nice 3rd-round pick, maybe. He's not the number 1 pick in the draft when you got Ruben Bain and Bailey from Texas Tech. I see some mock drafts. There is no talent in this draft at all. Besides Bain and Bailey, a few guys from Ohio State. That's it. Is Ty Simpson good? No, he's barely good in college. He's not going to do anything in the pros. Um, you know, we'll see, but he's a third, fourth round pick. Is he coming out already? I thought it was his first year last year. Oh no, he was behind. He couldn't beat out Milrose. Yeah, Ty Simpson's no good. I mean, you couldn't beat Milrose. How good can you be? I mean, you know, at best he's a backup, maybe. But this is the problem with the league. You take a guy like Ty Simpson and you want to say how good he is. I just got to see what time my thing's at today. So I have a 1 o'clock appointment. So we got till 12:30. Okay, I got another hour. I came on a little early anyway. So again, what are we doing with a Wednesday game and a Thursday game in Melbourne? It's like Trump. What country haven't we invaded that we need to invade? Let's see. Venezuela and we've got, let's see, Mexico. We're about to invade Cuba. Basically, the one common denominator, except for the Ukraine, is they're all BRICS countries. Iran, Venezuela are BRICS countries, and they're Russian countries. So you're fucking with Russia again, you're in big trouble. Russia and China really haven't come into the war yet on Iran's side. They don't need to. Iran's so well. Russia's giving them, signs where we are. If we go in with a missionaries, or we go in with Marines, they're all going to get killed in 5 seconds because Russia's satellite will track them saying, hey, here they are. And they'll just bomb them. You cannot put an army in, and we don't have an army to put in anyway. You have no weapons because you gave them all to the Ukraine. You have no money because you're broke. So this is the problem there. But why is the NFL now in Australia? What is it like? Why don't we play a game in India? It's like a 24-hour flight. You're screwing up your players so badly. Now, I don't get the money. You gain what? How much is Australia actually paying you to have a game there? Like they give a fuck. They don't care about American football there. So I don't know where you generate the revenue. Is it the TV? Is it the NFL network or Amazon paying you to show this game and you got to show it in Australia? It's bad enough going to London and Germany and Spain and Brazil. Nobody gives a fuck. These are soccer countries. Germany, Brazil, London are soccer countries. They don't give a fuck about the NFL. Nobody cares. All right, so you have that. I don't know what they're doing. The sport's imploding. The ratings are bullshit. They're not real. They've set it up on some algorithm, and so they're double, triple counting, and they're not real. There's a real somebody that does the ratings, and it's like 50% lower. So they sell it off of Nielsen as that there's huge ratings, so they get big advertising. It's a Ponzi scheme. There's so many Ponzi schemes going on now, it's hard to keep track. Nothing is as it is. Like I said, I'm watching this Mission Impossible, with the Entity, the last one. It's on Netflix, part 1. Oh, great. Now are they even going to be able to do part 2? Because they seem to be in the desert, and you're not going to do a movie in the desert right now between the bombs falling. Then it'll be real bombs falling. So, you have that. Um, the point I was making is they're all algorithms. They're not real. Nothing's real, right? He's telling them go here, go there, and it's not Benji talking. It's the entity talking, or the entity this and the entity that. And the problem with that is what's you don't know what's real here. I get a phone call. I don't know if it's AI or not. I get an email. I don't know if it's AI. I don't want to answer my phone. I don't answer my phone unless I know who it's from. I don't say hello because it could be AI, and then they know it's a live number, and then I get all these spams. Well, I'm getting all these spams anyway. But here's how AI is a problem. It thinks I live with my brother after my divorce for about 5 years, and then he sold his place. I never owned it. I just was renting, and he lives in San Diego, so it was fine. And I get AI calls now from real people, but through AI. Oh, do you need a shower at your place where you used to live 10 years ago? That I never owned. I just lived there. Do you need a shower? Do you need gutter replacements? Do you need it painted? Do you need a basement? I don't live there. And this is the problem with AI. It can't relate that now I live somewhere else. And when I move, it won't relate to that. I mean, it's just ridiculous. What the hell is going on with it? Anyway, that's what I think's happening here. Why are we playing a football game in Melbourne and in Brazil? Oh, for money. So what? Amazon and Netflix and Apple are paying you to show the game there? Just give them a Sunday, give them a Thursday night game or whatever you do. So I guess this is the way to get new people in to pay for these games. And then they get scammed that they think there's so many viewers so they can charge advertising. This is what the league's done. Oh, well, fuck over our players though, because they're gonna all travel all these. They're gonna travel to Australia. How about that? How does that grab you? All right. Now, when I get these WhatsApps or Telegram, I'm just blocking them. I don't want to. I don't know who it is. Get the fuck away from me. I got one yesterday. I showed you. Oh, you want to go to dinner this weekend? Who is this? I love this scam. Oh, it's Susie. Oh, I thought I was dialing my friend, Phil. Huh? And you dialed me and you asked me out to dinner. What am I doing for dinner? I don't even know who you are. Those are all scams, by the way. They're going to start asking for money and you're fucked. All right. Anyway, so I did pay my apartment. So that's now I can get to the next phase and move in May 1st. Feeling really good. Everything's good health wise. I eat my lemon and olive oil every morning, and then a lot of cayenne pepper and a lot of Celtic salt. I just eat Celtic salt straight, and then I put it on my salads. And when I cook, I made hamburgers. I'm seasoning it. Watching Gordon Ramsay. They make steak. They don't put salt and pepper on it. Shit, I put garlic and salt and pepper and parsley or pepper. No, it's something else on there. Basil on there, paprika. And then I put Italian dressing on it with olive oil. I put everything on my steaks. They taste yummy. Anyway, be careful with these higher prices. It is not inflation. If the supply of oil is lower because of the Straits of Hormuz and the oil prices, gas prices rise and the food rise, that is not inflation. People think anything to do with prices going up is inflation. It's not. It's only when the money gets printed and there's loses its value because you printed too much and it takes more dollars to buy is the only time there's inflation. Prices just going up because supply is short because it's Strait of Hormuz or the demand goes up from gold and silver is not inflation. It is the market. That's what the market is. If supply goes down, price goes up. If demand goes up, price goes down. Price goes up. If the demand goes down, like in a house, all of a sudden your $500,000 house, nobody will buy it. That's just the market saying, no, you can't sell it for 500. And that's the problem with gold and silver now. The market is not dictating a lower price. This is the danger when you have COMEX do it. Nobody is selling or not wanting gold and silver in the market. That's the key to it, right? So if the demand didn't go down, the supply certainly didn't go up. Well, the paper supply went up, but not the physical supply, and that's where they're blending the lines they're crossing. In the physical world, supply didn't go down and can't go down, and that's why you buy silver and gold. It can never lose its value because of printing. Now, what is demand doing? Oh, the demand's fine. Demand's through the roof for silver and gold. There's a war on. Everybody should be jumping into physical gold. I'm sure they are. Only people that listen to this stupid AI Keynesian idiots, what are they all running out and selling their gold because the dollar's stronger? Are they all buying dollars because the dollar's stronger? I mean, it's just idiotic, but in the world we live in, the supply didn't go up and the demand is huge. So why would the price drop? And that's how you got to look at it. And that's how you got to just, okay, the war is on, this is happening, and this just won't continue. Eventually, you're going to get China and Russia buying the shit out of it because they're really not in the war and they'll buy it. And we should get a much higher price. I don't like the Chinese market. It's not a physical market if it's following COMEX. How can it be a physical market? Look at gold. It's the same price as China. Like, what? How the fuck can that be? So they're not using a physical price. They're using a paper price also, or some derivative off of COMEX. Let's see. Watching the World Poker Tour tournaments with Mike Sexton. So what's going on? What I'm noticing for poker, and this is true for most things, is you look weak by checking. So pre-flop, you get your cards. Some guy comes out big blind, a call, and a guy goes and makes a raise because he senses weakness that you're not raising, you're calling. Now, two ways to play this. A, you got aces and you're calling, waiting for some idiot to do this. Or B, you raise with your weak hand, but you really don't want to do that. I got 2-9. I don't even want to see it. If I got, let's say, 7-8 of diamonds, I don't want to pay a lot to see a flop because if I missed a flop, I got nothing and I'm gonna lose. So I don't want a big pot there. You come in with the big money. Now, when I play $3, if some guy comes in for $3 and another guy, and then it's up to me, and then some guy wants to bet $50 to steal $9, be my guest, fella. You can do that all day. It's like these guys that do the straddles. It's such bullshit because you're paying $5 to see your cards that might suck. I don't like straddlers at my table, which means they make it $5. It's $1.03. Go to the 2-5 table. So I think that's where the game shifted a few years back. People making big bets when the table looks weak. There's checks going. So if you check, I'm going to make a big bet on you because you show weakness. They're not even really playing poker. I don't know what that is. I can check my aces and kings very easily. If you're going to do that shit, I'm going to slow play you and beat the fuck out of you. And I do that. I'm very good at slow playing. So people with me are very careful. Not everybody just shows their hand. Oh, I got aces, I'm going to bet. And then I flopped a set, I'm going to bet. You got to realize, see, but they're hyper because they think, well, I better make a bet. I want to win now. It's the win now attitude. I can't be patient. See me, I'll check it. Oh, I flopped a set of nines. I'm checking, check. Oh, he's weak. Now I'm going to bet. And now I'll call you, but next time I'm going to bet. And now you're fucked because you don't have anything. You're betting because you think I'm weak, but I'm not weak. So that's kind of poker, but I think that's life. People think people are weak. They try to take advantage of them. I'm a very nice person, very friendly person. And then all of a sudden, oh, can I have some money? And, and they try to take advantage of me because I look weak because I'm nice. And I tell them, because I'm nice does not mean I'm weak. I'm just nice. And that's, if you're going to be nice, you've got to be strong on it and not worry that you're not, oh, can I have money? You're nice. You'll give it to me. Sort of like with Alyssa, like she thinks I'm weak and says, oh, okay, I need a ride. I'm like, fuck, call a ride. Where's your ride service? The dog from hell. That's what I'm not going to miss. That's one of the biggest reasons I'm moving. You'd think you'd have a dog that you could kind of keep quiet in an apartment complex and not one that barks. So again, if you're a friendly type of person like me, like Alyssa, I need a ride. Please, I don't have any other ride. I got to get my home for my kids. And you're like, well, you have a service and they're going to be late. Well, I suggest you call them and not be late. But stop relying on me. I'll help you once in a while. And I tell her that I'm stoic. I've been teaching her stoic. So now I say, look, I'm stoic and I'm not supposed to take your shit. Right. And I'll play a stoic one that says, if people try to use you, you dump them. So I was very clear on that. I'm nice, but you can't do this to me. It's not fair. And lately she's been calling me at like 2:00. Well, now I'm in the middle of fucking traffic. I got to drive her home in traffic and then go to the club in traffic. So, I don't like that. Today I got a 1:00. Actually, it's a massage at 1, so I'm going to enjoy that. And then I'll go to the pool. So I'm not answering if she calls for a ride. It ain't happening. We're supposed to get together tomorrow. I told her, if you're not going to meet me, tell me now. Stop making plans with me. And then you don't show up like on my birthday. Oh, no, I'll be there. And I'm like, I have no confidence that we're getting together tomorrow for my belated birthday. But that's what happens. People take advantage of weakness. That's why nice guys finish last, because they're perceived as weak. So you got to come over the top on them and say, look, I'm nice, but I'm not weak. And that's usually what I do. And a lot of times I'll just be stoic now. And somebody says hi to me. I'm like, yeah, why waste my time saying hi to you? Who are you? I don't care. Fuck off. DK, any good players in the draft? In the NFL draft, I assume you're talking? Not a lot, a few. Looks like a very weak draft this year. As we're talking, it does look weak. There's some good defense at Texas Tech and Ohio State and at Miami, but generally there's a few quarterbacks, but they're not necessarily first round quarterbacks. I'd say the best quarterback's Daggio. He's the Joe Montana of the draft. I could see drafting him in the first round. Mendoza's not a number one pick, just like Cam Ward wasn't, just like Caleb wasn't. These guys aren't number one picks. And that's why these teams suck year in and year out. That's why the product sucks, because you're putting guys in that are not. Cam Ward at Tennessee will never be any good. They will never win. And you've just wasted 5 years like you did with Daniel Jones, like you just did with Jackson Dart, like you did with Lamar, like you're doing with Caleb. And you end up losing all these years because you really don't have a good quarterback, but you wasted the pick instead of taking a stud defensive tackle or defensive end or a stud running back. You're wasting your time on a quarterback who's not nearly as good as the, like Ruben Bain's the best player, but you're going to waste it on Mendoza, who's not nearly as good of a player who's going to help you as Ruben Bain or Bailey at Texas Tech. Those are the guys, and they're much better, but you're not drafting them, and this is the problem. Like the Lions, where we had Jared Goff. Well, you're not winning with Jared Goff. Rams didn't win with him. You're not going to win with him. He's a loser. What can I say? But you're going to keep him, and you're not going to win with him. So you're just wasting your time. It's just crazy. Any good receivers? Raiders need a receiver. Well, Fred Blitnikoff's available. Cliff Branch. I was watching the Sea Hands game the other day. It's funny. Cliff Branch trapped the ball for the long touchdown late in the game. When he dove, caught it, got up, nobody touched him, and he scored. And back then it was a touchdown. Now it would have been incomplete. But let the refs call the game. It didn't bother the game. Fine, they scored, and that was fine. If the ref called it a touchdown, that's how it should be. That's why you have the ref out there. If he makes a mistake, he couldn't see that the ball was trapped. So what the fuck? No, let's microman. I mean, the thing in the older days when there was a touchdown, it was exciting. The crowd got excited. It's entertainment. Now it's touchdown and you got, well, let's review it for 5 minutes and go to 5 commercials. It kills your concentration. It goes to the idiot mentality. And you can't even celebrate the touchdown because you don't know if it's a touchdown. You think it's a touchdown. That happened in the Rams-Seattle game. I had the Rams and the over, and this was giving me the Rams, I believe, or the over. It was giving me the over, I think. And, did he catch it? And they looked close, and then they gave him the touchdown. But the ref called it a touchdown. It's a touch. So you're really ruining the game with these stoppages and all that. I don't know. I haven't studied receivers. I don't normally study them. I'm normally studying quarterbacks and running backs. But, just go to Texas Tech and get a receiver. Go to Oregon's got a good receiver. Miami, but that kid's a freshman. Ohio State had no receivers. Indiana, maybe. You probably can do good with an Indiana receiver. I mean, they don't get the acclimate, but, they won the title. They made good catches, so I would say that would be a good one. And you go around USC, Meadowlark Lemon, he was pretty good. Not UCLA, Washington. It's who's a senior, who's available to be drafted. There's always good receivers out there. You just got to know where they are. So yeah, I'm sure there are, but I don't know. Anyway, so again, in poker, the strategy is if I have a decent hand, I'm going to play it. If I feel everybody's weak, I'm going to bluff. And you're not going to win a whole lot doing that. I bluff very rarely, and it's when I have check, 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 check. Okay, I'll make a bet. You try to hide yourself as far as faking because they're looking at you for tells, so you give fake tells. So it's a lot of acting, and that's where the better players can read tells, supposedly. They couldn't read me because I know you're reading me, and I'm going to make fake tells, and that's just the way I'm going to play you. I'm going to play you with fake tells. And the thing is, when I look strong, I am, and when I look weak, I am. I'm not acting that. But poker, they say, well, you can't get aces and kings all the time, but yet the people that win the tournaments get on the run. They get the aces and kings, and that's when they win. They can make big bets. Otherwise, it's luck. Well, I got ace 3. I saw a guy with ace 3 beat a guy with ace 9 because the flop came like 2, 4, 5 or something, so he caught a straight, and it was pure luck. So if you're saying to win on luck, that's probably not too smart of an idea. But it's a lot about getting the cards. It's just like basketball, football, getting the players, getting the Mahomes. You're going to win with Mahomes. You're not winning with Steve Young or Caleb or Ward or Lamar. You're not winning with losers, right? With weak players. So that's poker. Just be careful, get an idea, learn the player. Really, you're learning the player type because, you play, there's 10 guys and then they leave and here comes 10 more and you got to I got to learn 50 players. So you just learn the style. Are they going to, are they aggressive or not? Are they big bettors? Seems to be sometimes you get tables where there's big bettors that really don't have a hand. They just like betting big and winning small pots. Like I say, there's no incentive in a 1-3 game where there's $10 in the pot to make it 60 and win $10. No, there's no incentive to do that. Well, I won $10. Yeah, wonderful. Have a nice day. What you want to do is have 3 or 4 players in and then catch your hand, and then you get 4-1 odds. Now I bet 20 and I get call. Now I just won 60. Do it again, 30, 30, 30. That's how you win in poker, not this bullshit of betting $50 before the flop because people are weak. Oh, I won $9. Woo. Okay, good luck with that. John C. Andy Dalton signed with the Eagles. Yep. You missed class. You missed all the headlines. Why isn't he starting on Tennessee, Chicago, the Giants, the Jets? Why is he a backup? I think he's better than Jalen Hurts. A.J. Brown, is he going? I would get rid of Devontae Smith in a heartbeat. He stinks. Waddle's not going to do anything for Denver. None of these Alabama receivers ever do anything. They run it's a bullshit offense where they're just running past the secondary guys and they can run and they have a good line. So they look much better on the team they're on in college. When you get into the pros, no. I mean, Devontae Smith should be doing a lot more. He's got Shaquan Barkley. Oh, but he's got Jalen Hurts, and Jalen Hurts stinks. C.J. Stroud, I'd get rid of him. I'd have Andy Dalton over C.J. Stroud, and I bet Houston wins that game over New England because he's not going to throw 5 interceptions and a pick 6 and lose the game for my best defense in the league. The coach has to understand the strategy. So you're doing strategy in poker. We're doing strategy in gold and silver. You do strategy when you're gambling. You always have to have some sort of strategy. And you have to be able to do it. Just like the war, there is no strat. Trump walks in, well, we're going to do regime change. Okay, knock off the Ayatollah. Okay, you've knocked him off. Okay. Oh, shit, wait a minute. They didn't do regime change. Now they're in trouble. Now they're fighting back. Wait, we didn't calculate that. What kind of idiot is that? You have no game plan and you're going into a fucking war that is bankrupting your country, that is killing the price of oil. It's going up, and all the food prices will go up. Apparently, fertilizer comes out of that, so we can't grow food. What are you doing? I have no idea. It's like Prime Senior. He doesn't know how to coach. So this is the problem. You have idiot coaches. You got an idiot president. You got idiot generals, and only you're playing with real people. You're fucking everybody over. Most people can't afford higher gas prices and higher food, but we've already been at because you're fucking inflating the money to zero, and so everything's expensive already. But nobody quite understands that. Well, inflation is 2.5%. No, it's thousands of a percent because you fucked the money where it was 10 cents to buy a Coke, and now it's $3 to buy a Coke. You fucked the money up. Not just you, but all the players in there. Let's see what this is. Brandon, what's the play for the day? I am not Brandon. Who the fuck are you? Get off my phone and stop calling me. Brandon. Jesus. Do they expect me to answer that? Who's this? Is this part of a Ponzi scheme? They want my information or whatever. I don't know. I just had a phone call and before class, and I'm like, do I say hello or do I wait for them? And I waited 30 seconds and nobody said hello. And I just hung up and blocked the number. Because if you're a real person, you're going to say hello. I do notice sometimes I'm getting as potential spams, I'm getting recruiters for jobs, and I'm not taking it because it says potential spam, but it's not. It's a recruiter calling. So I've got to start answering in case it's a recruiter. Or my apartment called and it came in as spam and I didn't answer it. Fortunately, she left a message and I called back yesterday and then I was able to pay it. Anyway, just stay strong, and you can be nice. Doesn't mean you're weak. You can be nice and strong. As me, I am nice and strong. You hear me when people want free football picks. I give you one. What's your lock for the day? Go fuck off. Go pay for it. I'm nice. I give you a free pick. The price you pay for the lock is very cheap because it'll make you a lot of money. But don't give me. But I can be nice about it. Doesn't mean I'm weak. Sorry, I'm not giving it to you. So I'm going to stay strong. So you always want to stay strong and firm, but be right about it. And that's the key. Anyway, just keep holding your silver, keep holding your gold. Don't worry about the price action today. Obviously, it's insane. It's down $8-9. Like, okay. But for the same token, it'll jump $8-9 and it'll be back in the 80s soon, back in the 5,000s for gold soon. And it's all the banks on comex doing this. So you can't, the banks are running the options, right? So if the dollar goes up, right, against the euro, who's doing the shorting? Who's the bank shorting it? And what bank is saying, I want to buy dollars and get out of gold? What bank is stupid enough to do that? So I don't even understand that. Who are these idiots buying the dollar because it's stronger and then selling the gold because they're into inflated dollars that are worthless? So I'm going to sell my gold and buy worthless dollars. You're buying comex, like you're the stupidest person on the earth. But they don't understand, and that's what we must understand. They don't understand what the fuck they're doing, and that's fine. We get that. Time to buy the dip. Yeah, I mean, Nick, hello, good morning. Yeah, I mean, it's all bullshit. Like I say, as long as you're buying physical, you're fine, right? It's like if I'm buying my Mano card or my Bobby Orr, my Montana. As long as I own the card and it's a 9 or a 10, I'm fine. If my Mano's a 9, it's a couple $100,000. I'm happy. Fine. Thank you very much. As long as I have it. Um, let's see what's going on now. But yeah, I mean, continue to buy. You're getting a great deal. Did the supply go up? No. The only thing that kills the price is supply going up. That's why the dollar's worthless, because they keep printing money. I heard today Pepe Escobar said that's now $40 trillion. Okay, we'll say 39. But did the supply of gold or silver go up? No. Did the demand of gold or silver go down? No. So why is the price down? Oh, because it's paper. Okay, so in the physical world that we live in, there's nothing, no problem. I would say tomorrow we should see a big boost back. For good, people will realize that it's down, or for sure by Monday, they will see this big price. They will see the price so low they'll jump in. Silver will go up $10, gold will go up a couple hundred, and we'll be back where we should, and even where it was at 85 for gold, for silver, 90 for silver, and 51, 5,200 for gold is very, very low. Even that. So let's see. Let's check the Dow. Now the Dow should be like 2,000 by now. It's down to 45,008. So this was 50,000. It's now 45,000. And that's with the U.S. printing money to buy stuff. It's not the public buying it. When will the foreigners are dumping our dollars. They will not buy our T-bills. Why are they still in the market? I don't know. And let's check our gold and silver. So silver at 69, 90, roughly 70. Gold on its way to 4,600. So can we believe it's this low? No, but we're not really. I mean, it was 48.33. How the fuck is it 48.33 at midnight and now down $300 on no news? No news. $200 on no news. It's just amazing. Bitcoin was 69,000. So Bitcoin's down to 69. So everything's dropping. Stocks, Bitcoin, gold, silver. Is it? Oh, we hit 70 in our oil and our silver. This was down 10, so it's good. It's only down 7, and we're near 4,600. So that's what we have. What's going on? So are they buying oil? Is that where everybody's jumping on oil to make money? Because the oil, well, let's look what the oil price is doing. We can play this game all day long. You can see oil just spiked, and it's at, let's call it 100. So what's going on at noon? That oil, it's at 100. Okay. So what's going on there? Again, this is options. This isn't real supply and demand. Energy prices soar as Trump threatens to blow up Iran gas field. Well, just because he threatens it doesn't mean he'll do it. Oil prices jump after major Iran gas field is attacked. Okay, so when is that? Well, so this is 12 hours after major Iran gas field is attacked, and then this is 8 minutes ago. Energy prices soar as Trump threatens to blow up another Iran gas field, I guess. Trump expected to speak as a tax rattle energy markets. Who wants to listen to that idiot? Europe and Japan ready to help stabilize energy prices and secure oil choke point. Well, Europe doesn't have oil. Russia's got oil, and Saudi Arabia's got oil. Iran's got oil. China and Japan don't have any oil. Neither does Germany. So I'm not sure what Japan's going to do to stabilize energy. They don't have oil. They buy it from. They've been buying it from Saudi Arabia. Oil prices soar as Iran targets energy facilities across the Persian Gulf. Oil briefly hits 119, and Europe gas prices surge after attacks on energy facilities in Qatar and Iran. This is what's happening to our gold. As the supply of oil is going down, prices go up. This is not inflation. This is the market. You've cut the supply, demand has stayed, so prices go up. Got nothing to do with inflation. And just because there's price increases and they call it it's inflationary, it's not inflationary. The only fucking inflation is when this gets printed and worthless. And that's your inflation. That's it. It's one thing. This getting printed and worthless. Prices going up in oil is not inflationary. Prices going up in gold is not. Gold's because of demand. No more supply. The supply hasn't increased. And oil, you're killing the supply. That's not inflation. That's supply going down in demand. Just like my dark chocolates, the cocoa can't get out of Africa. It's limited. So because there's less cocoa, the price goes up because supply's down. And just like the house, nobody will buy your house at 500 grand. The price goes down. It'll be 200,000, and that is not inflationary, or as they call it, deflationary. That's all made up bullshit. It's the market. The market says nobody wants to pay 500 for it. We don't have the money. We got to pay for gas and food prices. I don't have 500 for a house. I'll give you 200 for it. That's the market. It is not deflation. Nothing. These people talk like a bunch of fucking idiots, and people believe them because nobody knows, because nobody's taught this stuff. That is the problem. So this is not inflationary bullshit. The wars are very expensive. When you send bombs, they're $1 million bombs. And by the way, Raytheon and Northrop and all these cannot make Tomahawks in 5 days. It takes them about 1.5 to 2 years to make Tomahawks and others. So here's a spam from 732 from New Jersey. I don't know what that was. I wasn't going to answer it. Oil prices surge on Iran threats, risking global supply risk. So somebody says something and the price jumps around. This is crazy. Oil prices jump following first attacks on Iranian production facilities. And then you listen to Colonel McGregor and he said, well, we didn't hit anything. We just sent a bomb in there, but it didn't do anything. Like that little island, right, that has all the oil that they used to load their tankers in Iran. I think we tried bombing it. It didn't do anything. We didn't hit anything. We bombed it, but it didn't do anything because it's all underground. Just amazing. Because when you get the real point, we didn't do anything. We're bombing ground. We're not bombing. We're not taking out anything. So it's very frustrating there. And this is why we buy the dip, Nick, is because of that. You buy it because you know that the real price, that there's two things. We know there's no more supply of gold or silver. Nobody found a gold mine, and the demand didn't stop. So what's the real price? I'm giving you 10,000 is the real price for gold. Not this 5,000, but certainly not to make it go down to 4,600, 4,700. There is no reason for that. There's certainly no more supply of it. And the demand, I don't see how the demand stopped. You're in a war. Everybody's running to gold and silver. But this is where you got to know paper from physical. So in the physical world we live in, we're fine. Keep buying it. In the paper world you live in, it's going down because the dollar is going up, because the oil price is going up, because there's a war and oil is going up because they're stopping the supply. Why would the dollar strengthen? Well, a lot of what's happening in Europe, so let's take this full circle, is their gas prices are up and probably their heating prices. So let's say the gas, so to fill up your car, it's a lot more. Well, okay, but does that really affect Europe? If you've ever been to Europe, you very rarely don't need a car. You're taking the tram or the bus or the subway, which doesn't need gas. A lot of them are electric. I was in Switzerland. You get on, it's like a bus type of thing, but maybe it's a trolley, and you just take that downtown, and it's $2. You're not driving. I talked to people in Switzerland, and you don't need a car. You just take the tram. It's $2. It was €2 for the day. I mean, why would I get a car? No insurance, no gas, no nothing. So I don't know how much gas really affects them there, because I don't know how many people actually drive versus taking the subway and the buses and the trolleys and things like that. So I don't know that there's a lot of cars now. I could be wrong, and there could be some cities. Amsterdam for sure. You just take a bike. You certainly, it's a small city, so you certainly don't need a car if you're living in Amsterdam. You take a bike and you lock it up. If you see, I think I have a, let me look. I think I have a picture of that. So here's Amsterdam, and look at all the bikes across the street, the bikes, and you live in these little apartments. Uh, but everybody uses bikes to get around. This is maybe 10 miles, right, from where I was. But if you're in the city center, I love how they call it that. This is the city center. Everybody's with bikes. You got canals, so maybe you need a boat. I mean, this is the canal that they're all on. So you can see all the buildings. And here's your downtown. I would walk. This is the train station. So you would walk there, look at all the bikes, right? You don't need a car there. Here's one of these taxis, but look at all the bikes. That's the train station. And here you are. This is when I was there when COVID was on and they closed the city. I mean, you're walking, but it's all these type of buildings. You don't need a car. This was my hotel room. And again, I walked about a quarter mile to a subway, took the subway, which was like overground and underground, to the main to that main part where I just showed you where all the bikes were, and then you just walk around, and then you take the train back. You didn't need a car, you didn't need a taxi. You basically got on the subway, and that's it. So who cares about the gas prices? Now that's Amsterdam. Um, this is Vienna. Again, not sure what you needed there. But I mean, most of these places, I never rented a car in Europe. We would take a cab, like when I was in Berlin, but it's not the thing. It's not the thing you really need. So gas prices, if you live there, gas prices aren't your biggest concern. Um, so I don't know what that's causing Europe, but that's making the dollar weaker for some reason in Europe, and then the dollar stronger versus the euro. because of gas prices. What does that have to do with anything? You printed the shit out of both of them. They're both worthless. And that causes gold to go down. I mean, the reasons we get are so fucking stupid that you just, it's, oh, it's inflation because the price of oil goes up. That's not inflation, people. That's why I stress and explain it over and over, because I keep hearing this. Well, the price of oil went up. That's inflation. It's not inflation. No, there's only one inflation: printing this. You print this, it lowers the value, and it takes more of these to buy something. That's the only inflation you have. There is no wage inflation. There is no, price. Golf clubs go up. That ain't inflation. If it's because of demand for golf or shortage of steel or whatever you use for it. So that's just the way it is. It's just ridiculous. But yes, if you're smart, you buy the dip because there's no reason. If all of a sudden there's 20 gold mines found and now there's another 200,000 tons available, yeah, I would worry. But that's not going to happen unless we get hit by another meteor full of gold, which is maybe how this gold got here. But I don't know. We just find it. It's in the core, the gold in the planet, so you can't explain how it got here. And there's the supply. I'm not worried about more supply. The only thing you'd worry about is less demand. But with everybody with these wars and all these other things, and this is basically, in my opinion, George Soros is loving it because he's shorted the dollar and he's probably shorted the euro. He's probably shorted most of the currency, so he's loving these wars where they're just spending. Wars are very, very expensive, as I pointed out. Anyway, I think that's it. So I went over basketball. It's in the middle somewhere. I'm starting to get a handle on that. I think I can start handicapping it next week. We'll see. You've got your Z teams and your A teams. There's not a lot of A teams. There's a lot of teams in the middle. We'll call them B teams that can score decent. Do they have stars? There's time. There's a lot of Z teams. They won 15 games. We want to bet against them, but then we find that they really have weak defenses, so they're almost over teams because nobody really has good defense. I think Boston's the only team with a good defense, which then leads you to, and they got Jack Tatum back, which leads you to that. Now, I did get a warning when I showed you Sandy Koufax the other day, but it doesn't really affect me. It just says you can't monetize. Well, I'm not getting money from this shit anyway because I don't have enough subscribers or something. So the only time I get money is when you guys tip me. By the way, I need another $10 tip because I've got $90, but I can't cash out till I get 100. It's YouTube's so bad. So anyway, whatever. Other than that, we'll get ready for football. This Australia, what are they doing? Having a game in every country. Why don't we have a game in Iran or Russia or China? They'd pay a lot for it. I mean, it's so stupid. Where are you getting the revenue? And by the way, you're fucking your players up to go all the way to Australia to play a football game and then come back and they're going to be wiped out. So I think that's Thursday night's game or Friday. I think that's the Thursday game, and Seattle's going to play the Wednesday game because they'll be in. And what time's the Australian game at? It ain't going to be 1 o'clock Thursday Australian time because who knows when the fuck that is here. 1 a.m. So this is really ridiculous. I don't know what the league's doing. There's no rhyme or reason for it. It's pure stupidity. It's almost as stupid as the kickoff, where the guys sit there at the 30-yard line as you kick it, but you can't kick it out of the end zone, or they get the ball back at the 35-yard line. What's the point of this? If you're afraid to get hurt, then maybe you should make it a touch football league or go play tennis and golf. Football, you get hurt. We like to see the action. We don't want to see people get hurt, but we want to see the big hits. We want to see the kickoff returns. Anthony Davis. That's what we want to see. That's why it's exciting. That's why we watch. You take that away from us, fuck that. I don't care. Now the only reason I watch is on YouTube, and I watched because I bet the teasers. Otherwise, basketball I don't even watch or care. Baseball I probably haven't watched a game. I did watch a little in the World Series, but that was it. Anyway, anything else, gentlemen, ladies, gentlemen? Anything? So again, let's check. Well, we just checked our goal. I don't want to keep going back there until tomorrow when it's up $10. Don't worry. You own the physical. Do not sell it. Do not panic. Oh, I got to get rid of it. It's not going for it to go down here. It's not going to stay. It's a very appealing price at this point. Again, you're owning physical. You are not owning paper, and just hold on to it and just let it go. And you'll be fine. There's no reason to panic sell it now. I wouldn't sell at 4,600 because it was $5,000 and it lost $300 in since midnight. I would not be selling it because that's a fake thing. And eventually, Trump's got to get his head out of his ass and settle this thing before oil hits very expensive, because it's only going to screw the U.S. because we have all the drivers, right? There's more drivers and gas here, and you're going to just fuck your own people with these high gas prices for no reason. There's no reason for this war. It's so Trump can get out of his debt and steal the oil. That's what this war is about. Why else have a regime change? There's no nuclear weapons in Iran. And if there is, who cares? Russia and China have nuclear weapons. They don't use them. You're not going to use it. So what the fuck is he doing? So anyway, Israel's toast. Tel Aviv's been toasted. In Haifa, they only have 2 cities there, and then they have mountains and a desert. Maybe Moses will come back and end the war. But we're gonna basically obliviate everything. And what the fuck are we doing? What is Trump doing? Oh my God! I always thought he was an idiot with the "you're fired" crap. Could you imagine that? You go into your boss, he says, "You're fired." I'd kill the boss. I would choke him out and then put him in a pile driver or something and end him. You don't talk to people like that. You're fired. As soon as I heard that, I never would have voted for this guy. Worst president. I thought Biden was the worst by far. Actually, I think Obama is, and then Biden. But Trump's right there. They're all tied at being the worst. They're all killing the country. We're killing the country the only way we can, which is internally, by having very weak leaders. And that's what we have. We have terrible leaders, the elites, the Zionists. It's just killing the country. We can be resilient if we go to gold. If we don't go to gold, the paper as we know it'll be sucked. It'll be fucked. It'll be all over. But what do we come out with next? We have to come out with the Deutschmark from this Reichsmark that we're using. Just hold your gold and silver and just be patient, and it'll come back. Now we have the stupid war, which I don't know if it was planned to lower the gold price or not. It's just like you're helping the Russians because they're selling a lot more oil. All right, I'm going to let you go. I got a 1 o'clock massage and it's 12:20. So I want to eat a little bit and then go get massage and then go swim. All right. Have a good day, everybody. Don't worry. We're okay. There's huge demand for gold and silver, and the supply did not increase. So in the physical world that we live, we're fine. In the paper world, the paper price is dropping. That's not the physical price. Keep that separate, right? Paper going down, physical still going up. We just got to get there. So we'll be curious to see what Mark McGuire says tomorrow. He'll probably come on to talk about it. He did that last week when the shit hit the fan. He came on and actually talked when the guest was on for about 15 minutes to explain. And he keeps saying, "Oh, everybody, there's nobody left the short, and there's nothing in the casino, and the bathtub, and the laundry's rinsing and cycling," whatever he says. but we still see it dropping. And now it's people who are looking at the dots and they're going, oh, it's too high, or oh, wait, as the dollar goes up, the gold goes down, and the dollar's going up, and that's why gold's going down. And it's a new story every week with Mark, but he at least makes sense what's happening. So we'll look. Hopefully, he'll talk about that. I don't know why he does a show on Wednesday. It's Thursday morning. I'm live. I'm always live, and I don't have any script. This is my script. It's a Bitcoin. It's the same script. All right. Have a good day, everybody. If you need me, email me, www.teacherking.com. You get my email, and I'll be happy. I get a couple of emails from people I don't know. They don't come in the comments, and they give me emails. So, yeah, that's fine. If I have time, I'll answer them. All right. Good luck. Don't worry. We'll be fine. All right. Take care, everybody. www.teaserking.com. Doo-doo.